But the thing is this. In this particular incident, I think there is much more to it than mere gender violence. I think there is an element of human trafficking involved in this incident. I cannot believe the suspects are said to be living in Durban. I cannot believe young men leaving Durban, driving all the way to Johannesburg to kill Olerato for sweet nothing. I don't believe that. There must be a motive. Now let me tell you, when I look around this hall, I see many young and beautiful ladies. Let me tell you something, or let me remind you that to some men, you're not just beautiful ladies. You are commodities for sale. That's human trafficking. This is the reality of our life, particularly in this country. When you post that beautiful picture on Facebook or any social media, be aware of the dangers that you are exposing yourself to. In our country, there are men, there are people, there are syndicates who've made it their business to make money by selling fellow human beings. And the easiest targets are beautiful girls. Olerato was a beauty. Let me tell you a story. Last year, I received a call from a beautiful young girl. And she said to me, I'm so and so. I'm calling from Johannesburg. My name is so and so. Let me, I don't want to mention her name, but her father was a well-known pastor in Welkom, the late Pastor Nizela. This girl said to me, Ntate Rampai, I'm a student at the University of Johannesburg. I'm studying law. I'm doing a final LLB. I said, okay, what can I do for you? She said, Ntate, I have been appointed by the United Nations to go to Bangkok, in Thailand, to go and inspire the youth of the world. Okay, congratulations. Now what can I do for you? She said, Ntate Rampai, I need money for the air ticket to fly to Bangkok. And then I said to her, but this sounds to me strange. The United Nations, such a huge global body, invites you, but they don't pay for your air ticket. I said, when are you supposed to be in Bangkok? And she gave me a date, and the date was less than a week. And within this week, you must get a passport. You must get a visa to get to Bangkok. It's impossible. The whole thing cannot work out. I'm getting suspicious. Have you got documentation from the United Nations? She said, yes, I do. I said, okay, send that to me, let me have a look. She did. I looked at what this girl regarded as an invitation from the United Nations. I was perturbed after reading this. The author The letterheads were those of the United Nations. The author's name was given at the bottom of the letter. He was writing from New York. The invitation says, you must get a passport at your own cost. You must get a ticket at your own cost. But accommodation at a 5-star hotel in Bangkok, Thailand will be paid for. The meals will be paid for. Every other thing will be paid for except for the visa and the air ticket. And then I went through this document. The event was supposed to be a 3-day event. And he said, the consul generals, the ambassadors of various countries will also participate in this program. And a day before this whole thing ends, there will be a very exotic dinner on a cruise. Okay. Now all these appetizing features of the invitation impressed this little girl. And then it went on to say, you will have a shared room. Shared room. Okay, to cut a long story short, after going through this thing, it heightened my suspicions that this is not from the United Nations. The author of this invitation is part of a syndicate, a global syndicate. He makes money by selling beautiful girls. You see, that shared room, you're going to share it with a stranger, probably a very opulent man who has paid the syndicate money to spend a night with this beautiful girl from South Africa. If you go there, you will never be the same girl afterwards. They don't want to incur expenses. They say, pay for your air ticket, pay for the visa. Only room and meals will be paid for you. Now let me tell you, there are parallels between this story and what happened to Olorato. Olerato was not supposed to have been killed. That's my view. Differ with me if you will. The purpose was to kidnap Olerato, take her to Durban, fly her out of the country, send her probably to Bangkok in Thailand, because Thailand is well known for human trafficking. And that man sitting in New York would be paid a handsome reward for delivering this beautiful girl from South Africa to Bangkok for a stranger the girl has never seen. This would probably have happened to Olorato. She was killed probably because she put up a strong fight. And her kidnappers realized, hey, this is a hard nut to crack. We can never get to Durban with this sort of a girl. Because now they were losing income. If we go back to Durban without her, we're not going to get rewarded. They decided to take her young life away. Please, this is my suspicion. I told you this story about the Ngizela daughter from Tabong because the circumstances of Olorato's death reminded me of that case. Now the lesson, very difficult. All I can do is to sound a warning to all of you sitting here, especially the young and the beautiful. Some people out there, some men out there, don't see you as a beautiful girl. They see you as a commodity they can sell and make money. Human trafficking is real. It's a pity. There are those who can speak better about human trafficking than I can do. And one of them is Judge Barata Mutsumi. She's a member of the global organization whose main objective is to deal with human trafficking. While I'm still on my feet, let me apologize to the Mongale family and to all the women folk for what happened to Olorato. As a man, I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed that men can do things like this to helpless and vulnerable young ladies or young girls. I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed to be a South African man. Because if you go around the world, we are the most notorious country when it comes to femicide. We kill our women as if they were nothing but flies. Let me also make a second apology. You know, as this message was going around, people were talking about it, and almost every man and woman I talked about said, no, this can't be the act of South African men. Foreigners are involved here. This is what we all believed. But the police investigation tends to picture a different story. If what we read in social media, the arrests, the suspects the police are looking for are the sons of the soil. We are scoundrels, and we should be ashamed of ourselves for doing things like this. Now, our own sons kidnap our own sisters to sell them and make money. When they fight, as Olerato did, they kill them. And they know the first suspicion will fall on foreigners. These Nigerians. But it would appear from preliminary investigations did by the police that the poor Nigerians are not involved in this. This is a brother killing a sister. Let me cut it short. Ospopi, I've been where you are.